The bolt on the ball joint passenger side has been sheared off. It was like this before, but I thought it was not as much as it was. This is on the driver's side. You can see there's a lot more protruding, so I'm going to have to fix this. The new grease nipple almost touches the shaft, so I'm going to replace it with a bolt instead. So I need to unbolt everything and then shift it down to get access. So now undoing the existing grease nipple and then replacing it with this bolt. And now to reassemble everything back into place. I'm not going to lock anything up or torque any bolts until I know everything fits in place. And now for a new disc and original spacer and then these positioning bolts. And as you can see here, I've gained quite a bit of clearance. Now installing the original brake calipers. For pads I'm using green stuff, and it came with these little backing pieces which you put in place to stop it from squeaking. Putting the handbrake cable in place onto these rebuilt calipers. And then to put the calipers onto the car. I'm going to be using an original set of CD27 Cromodora rims. These are particularly rare. The caps are the same dimensions as the CD58 rims, except these ones have the Bertoni logo. These rims were more commonly used on the 850 Spider, however in 1975 the X19 Corsa came out with these rims, however it did have a black hubcap, but I'll come back to that later. The tyres I've chosen are Toyo R888R, they're 185/60/13s. They have the best grip in the dry, and that's really what I want it for. The driver's door handle is slightly sticking out at the bottom. 3 nuts hold this in place, however the window channel gets in the way of one of them, so by undoing this bolt at the bottom you can get better access to the other nut. With the nuts undone you can just remove this panel. Then remove the door handle from the outside of the car and then push this little plastic piece off the handle. This door handle is looking a little bit corroded and it's also protruding out from the side. The back looks fine, everything else looks intact. To remove the handle from the plastic housing, put a screwdriver in this position, it will hold it open. You now have good access to the 2 pinholes here, so you need to get a punch and then push the pin through. It looks like this metal is broken on one side, so I'm going to have to replace it with some spare one. I went through my spares and noticed I have a Ferrari one. You can tell because it's made of metal on the outside, and also the whole body is also made of metal, unlike the X19. They're similar, but not the same. The back of the barrel has a number. I'm assuming it's the same as a key number. I never really noticed it before till now. The door handles are left and right, so you need to make sure you get the right one for the right side of the car. Comparing the 2 handles, you can see why it was not working. You can see how much bigger that hole is. Now to just polish up that spare. This is the one I took off, and this is the one I polished. If your handle sits in a little bit, it's because this little rubber piece has worn out over time. It rests against here. If you just turn it around like this, you'll notice that your handle will sit perfectly flush to your car. To get the lugs back in position, I use this screwdriver to position through all the holes. This will help line everything up. With the lug in position, I just tap it in with a hammer while removing the screwdriver at the same time. So I now have a nice flush, shiny door handle. I'm going to put the door handle back in, but if you notice these 2 little lugs here, they need to be flush with the plastic. If not, they'll get stuck on the door on the way in. And now just to press that little plastic piece onto the door handle and then position the door handle like this and then push it in place. If you're wondering what all that greasy stuff is, it's rust proofing, probably done when new. Putting the plate back in position, it's important to get it underneath this lip. I've seen it before where it's not and it makes the door bow. I've now used all original nuts and washers and then put the window rail back in place. That's the driver's side done, now flush and shiny. I'm getting the dashboard reskinned, however I'm going to include the instrument cluster and the vents because I want it to fit perfectly. However, I've run across a problem. This one was reskinned before and is missing definition. Luckily I've located another one. This one will work a lot better. The owner explained that you put this foam on top and then sand it back. It then goes into a vacuum machine which sucks the vinyl into place on the dashboard. As you can see, there's a massive backlog, so I'm not expecting this back till August. But next time, these seats get rebuilt.